Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern Ned Reynolds in the studio Thursday morning. Typically, golf tournaments start on Thursdays, but the Masters is a whole other beast. They had their own par 3 tournament yesterday. How'd that go down?
Well, it is. It's a tradition, and that par 3 tournament is also one of the traditions 24 hours ahead of time. And it's fun because the golfers can bring their wives and families and so forth all out for it, and it's a relaxed, good time. The honorary tee shots are now in progress, and then the competition, the Masters itself, begins as we speak. The honorary tee shots are going to be made this year as they were last year by Jack Nicklaus, Tom Watson, and Gary Player. The par 3 tournament tradition was won yesterday by the 31-year-old English pro Aaron Rai. He's had some success on the PGA Tour, and he won it at 6 under par, but that's all part of the tradition. And now the competition gets underway. First round will conclude later on this afternoon.
And they should be teeing off as we speak, right?
Yeah,
that's good to know. Give me something to watch while I'm playing records this morning. Also, kind of a sad note to talk about this morning.
Yeah, this really is nostalgic because Davey Lopes was one of my favorite players and just a big name in Major League Baseball back in the 60s, 70s, and into the early 1980s. Matter of fact, right up until now. He left us yesterday at the age of 80, and he was one of the top base stealers of his time. He was a mainstay of those Dodgers infields of the late 1970s with, all sorts of individuals in there, Steve Garvey being one of them. But Davey Lopes had 558 career stolen bases. That's nowhere near the all-time record, but by the same token, it still is a pretty good number. 4-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove winner, managed the Milwaukee Brewers for a short time back in the early 2000s. He passed from the scene at the age of 80, and our deepest condolences. Davey Lopes leaving us at 80.
We've got, over the years, it seems that interest in women's basketball has gotten stronger and stronger. WNBA seems to get better and better numbers every year. Their salary, they just got a big old increase, which is great. But as far as college basketball, how'd the women's ratings come in?
Well, the TV ratings were released yesterday, and I'm sure the men's will be coming out later on today. And it wasn't bad. They had a little bit under 10 million viewers around the world watching the game between UCLA and South Carolina on a Sunday afternoon. And that's just a little bit under 10 million. I think it was 9,800,000, something like that. And that's pretty good for women's basketball. It's nowhere near the record. The record was twice that amount, 18 million viewers, and that was 2 years ago when South Carolina played Iowa, and you know who was on the Iowa team then, Caitlin Clark, thank you, and she attracted so many viewers, and South Carolina won that game, but 18 million, that was 2 years ago. Just a little under 10 million this year, and I agree, it is slowly, it's not a rapid advance, but it is slowly getting better, and really that's what it's all about. Men's ratings should be in today.
The Cardinals were in the nation's capital yesterday to face off with the Nationals, and their bats got it done.
Yeah, they are. The Cardinals come home this weekend to take on the Boston Red Sox up in St. Louis. Cardinals did won the game yesterday 6-1 over the Nationals. Cardinals should have swept that series. They're better than Washington, but lost that first game 9-6, let it get away. But did win 2 of the 3. Alec Burleson was 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, and Mike McGreevy pitched very well yesterday. Again, this is the Washington Nationals. They're throwing cold water on it. They are major leaguers, but it's not a real great team. Nonetheless, Cardinals win over the Nationals by a score of 6-1, and now head home to St. Louis to take on the Red Sox this weekend.
And kind of the opposite could be said about the Royals yesterday in Cleveland. The Guardians just saved all their runs for one game.
They did indeed. Not such good news for Kansas City. Cole Ragans did not make it through the first inning. They KO'd him. He pitched 2/3 of an innings, gave up 3 runs, 10-2. Cleveland wins the game, and it's been awfully cold in Cleveland, but it's cold for both teams. Angel Martinez, 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs yesterday at Progressive Field in Cleveland. That's a tough one for the Kansas City Royals, but hey, it's a long season, and a lot of things are going to go right for them. 10-2, though, Cleveland wins the game.
And St. Louis Cardinals, they were undefeated going into that game yesterday. Do they still remain undefeated?
They do not. Springfield Cardinals were beaten by the Tulsa Drillers last night 10-4. And this is kind of an interesting game because the Springfield Ball Club sent out one of the St. Louis Cardinals' top prospects, their number one draft choice last year, Liam Doyle, out of the University of Tennessee. Also out of the University of Mississippi, also out of Coastal Carolina University. This guy's a three-time transfer in college. There's the transfer portal, folks, and that's why it needs governing. Anyway, that's beside the point. Liam Doyle got the start. Supposedly had a lot of stuff, but he did not last night. He was hit very hard, made it through 3 innings, gave up 6 runs, 8 hits, and the Tulsa Drillers pinned the first defeat of the year on the Springfield Cardinals. 10-4 was the final. Play again tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday, and Sunday.
And you got your game you're calling on Saturday.
Yeah, we have a telecast on Saturday night.
And we've got 102.1 The One there, too, for some fireworks as well. Lots of stuff going on this weekend, Ned. I'll see you tomorrow, buddy.